All right, Stuart Mandel has put out on X, says now we have some details on the Tennessee stuff via the New York Times. Quote, the investigation is focused in part on the use of a private jet by a so-called donor collective to fly a high-profile recruit to campus. There's nothing in the bylaws that said you can't put a guy on a jet from the collective. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Courtesy of the AP and the New York Times, Chancellor Donde Plowman told the NCAA president that allegations Tennessee violated rules overseeing name, image, and likeness are factually untrue and procedurally flawed, according to a letter released today. Plowman wrote Monday in a letter to Charlie Baker shortly after Tennessee officials met with the NCAA to discuss the allegations that it was, quote, intellectually dishonest. Considering the leaders of the collegiate sports it owes it to the students and their families to act in the best interest with clear rules. Quote, instead, 2.5 years of vague and contradictory NCAA memos, emails, and guidance about name, image, and likeness has created extraordinary chaos that student athletes and institutions are struggling to navigate, Plowman wrote in a letter. In short, the NCAA has failed, and they are failing. Plowman wrote that she appreciated NCAA staff listening to Tennessee's arguments and agreeing to elevate them, but she also noted that they're intellectually dishonest for NCAA enforcement staff to pursue infractions and cases as if students have no NIL rights or institutions, quote, willfully violating a clear and unchanging set of rules. The NCAA policy is to refrain from commenting publicly about current, pending, or potential investigations with rare exceptions. The NIL collective that supports Tennessee athletics, Spirey Sports Group, was among the first and most well-organized to emerge around the country after the NCAA lifted its ban on athletes making money off their fame. Plowman made it clear she wanted to talk to Baker in person. I would too, especially since the NCAA president recently testified before Congress about wanting to meet with as many members and athletes as possible about the issues surrounding college sports. She wrote the letter after her December request for Baker to meet with her, and Tennessee Athletics Director Danny White was denied. Now think about that. Charlie Baker says, yeah, he gets up there in front of Congress and all his political buddies. Remember, this guy was a former politician for his entire life. We want to meet with as many people as possible. We want to meet with athletic directors. We want to meet with players. We want to hear your stories. Okay, Charlie, when can we set up a meeting? You're not. You're denied. Can somebody get in the ring with this guy? Can we get him in the ring? That's the question. She said Tennessee worked well with the NCAA in recent investigations, cooperation cited by the Division I Committee on Infractions. It goes through Tennessee's stuff under old Pruitt there. Only Tennessee's early cooperation with the NCAA kept the program from a postseason ban. 4 former staffers were given show calls and orders. Quote, it is inconceivable that our institution's leadership would be cited as an example of exemplary leadership in 2023 in July, then as a cautionary example of a lack of institutional control only 6 months later. Plowman wrote in a letter obtained by the Associated Press. Can you believe that? Tennessee was given an exemplary leadership award in 2023, July of last year, by the NCAA. Now they're saying that it's a lack of institutional control. The NCAA found most of the violations were related to a paid unofficial visit scheme used consistently by the football program over the 2 years and involving at least a dozen members of the football staff. Tennessee just wrapped up its third season, but I'm getting to the end of this thing. So that's it. Tennessee is mad as hell. I mean, the NCAA is mad as hell. They put Nico Iamaleava on a jet through the collective and flew him there. More bully. The NCAA doesn't comment because they are cowards and don't want to get grilled by anyone. There is that for sure.